Hey.
Okay, now I can
Haha.
see me, but I can't see. So,
There you are.
there you are.
There you are. I
Jeez
see
Louise,
ya.
man. I don't know why it's not working.
Yeah. I love it.
I don't remember why the hell we met.
Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
Yeah. You know, I get my coffee ready. I come upstairs.
Your biscotti.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I had my biscotti before I hit the stairs, though. That's why this is never going to go to be a video, because I'm getting chunkier by the day.
You know what we have to do too is so Kent, our third listener, I guess, had a legitimate point though, because you and I blew through the difference between markup and margin.
Yeah.
Literally last 5 minutes of the last episode. So if you didn't hear it, shame on you for leaving us early. I'm just kidding. We're surprised you stuck with us that long. Thank you, Kent, for staying with us that long. But we did kind of blow through that really quick, right? And I've answered that twice this week already. I
played with it a couple times this week too with people.
Yeah.
They were doing the same thing. Well, we need to take 20% off, and that's our margin.
Yeah.
Saying
no, it's different.
You take 20% off, so that's just a reverse markup.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
So okay, so let's do this, right? So at the end of the last episode, Kenny and I were kicking around this idea, and Kenny actually banished markup.
Which is not fair. People do use it. Retailers use it a lot. I just don't like it.
But I think it's fair. If you're a retailer, markup exists in your world, and you should keep it. If you're a brand person, so if you're a manufacturer going to supply something to a retailer, don't ever use markup.
Yeah.
Right?
I tell you the truth, like even as a retailer, I think you should get away from markups.
Yeah.
I think your whole world should exist on what margin you're playing.
Yeah.
I don't like when people say, "Well, I mark it up," because half the time I don't know if they know if they're marking it up or if they think the markup is the margin.
Yeah.
So one way is better than the other.
Yeah.
Thinking the markup is the margin is a problem. Thinking your margin is, what I mean? Like it's problematic if you go the wrong way.
Well, it's a primary breakdown in vendor and retailer relationships, right? Because one thinks when you use markup in place of margin, a retailer gets sticky because they think you're jamming them on penny profit, right? And then a brand that doesn't understand that thinks that the buyer is being greedy, right? Like it's essentially that's what it breaks down to, right? And then like things can go badly after that.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess but then it's okay. But so we're gonna have the same problem now. Is Kent's gonna say, well, you guys haven't said anything.
Yeah.
We know we're saying to each other.
Let's do this.
What's markup?
Yeah. So let's do this. So let's say let's pick a product. Let's say it's $10. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go with something super easy. So $10 is let's start with the product. The cost of the product is $10.
Right.
Okay. And then the suggested retail.
15.
Let's put it at $15.
Right.
So margin. Like classic retail margin, right? Like, so I remember teaching this when Walmart came in. Walmart is probably the first ones not the first ones, but they're the ones that made it all crazy, is you would take $15, you would subtract $10 from that, right? And then you would divide the 5 by 15 to get yourself margin.
That is margin.
Correct? Okay, so
yes.
I'm going to, because my math really sucks.
So when you tell people it's 33%.
Right.
So what your margin is the spread between your cost and the retail divided by retail.
Right. Okay.
So $5 was the spread.
Yeah.
Divided by 15 is 1/3, 33%. Okay. That's your margin.
Yeah.
So you are making 33% on the $15 sale.
Yeah. Okay. So now what's markup?
Markup, if you wanted to have a $10 cost and you wanted to get to a $15 retail, that's a 1.5 time markup. That's a 50% markup.
Right.
So 10 times 1.5.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's fundamentally the difference, right? Is you'll
Right.
get a brand that will go, I'm giving you 50,
50, I'm giving you 50
yeah,
points. You're thinking, no, you're giving me
yeah,
33.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
On a $10, if you were giving me 50 points, it would be, what is that, 16? It would be 16.99-ish,
yes, yeah,
right? Whatever it is,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And if
yeah,
I went from $10 to 20, I'm not making 100%. I'm making a 50% margin.
yeah,
It's a 100% markup,
yeah,
yes, but it's a 50% margin, 10 over the 20,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So
Now, I
hopefully
don't know
that's,
why. And people might say, well, why does that matter? What do you care, right?
but
But
yeah,
it's what your return is. Your return
yeah,
is that spread.
is
It's no
that
different
gap.
than a stock one. If the
Yeah,
stock doesn't go up,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's money exchange is done on margins,
yeah,
not markups,
yeah.
right?
Well,
So if the U.S.
I
dollar
think,
is 75
yeah,
cents to the Canadian dollar, to buy one U.S. dollar is $1.33 Canadian,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I think that it's also like, I mean, from the retailer perspective, based on the retail price, because that's what the consumer sees, right? The consumer doesn't see another price. So if I get 33% margin at $15, I'm still thinking in my head, like, what do I want to put it on sale for, right? What happens if I'm, if I'm with one of the big guys and one of the big guys decides that they want to make it, like, I'm competing against Walmart. Walmart goes everyday low price on me, right? Like, what am I going to take on it, right? So I don't actually care about the cost. What I care about is what can I actually retail in the marketplace, right? Like, that's my single jumping off point for the relationship, to be able to figure out where my dollars come from. I think that's the retailer perspective on that.
I guess so, but it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense, because if someone comes in and says, what margin do you want to make?
Yeah.
Nobody ever asks what markup you want to make. Well, the markup's not relevant. I
Yeah.
don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need at least 10% margin. Okay, if
Yep.
it's a $10 item,
Yeah.
then what is that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you set your retail based on what your margin expectation is, not what your markup expectation.
Yeah. Yeah.
The markup can be whatever we want. I don't care. Make whatever the market will bear is sort of where the retail needs to be set, but that doesn't mean it's a good margin.
No, it doesn't.
Right? Still want to know I still need to know what I'm making on this thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I know they can be used interchangeably. I mean, I just don't like the markup, because what I don't like is people tend to think they're making more than they're making.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm making 50%. No, you're not. You're making
No.
33%.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm making 100%. No, you're not. You're making 50%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, but this is really critical for new brands. Like, I think, some of the old brands don't know this either, right? But I think it's critical for new brands, because new brands look at markup, because everybody looks at, like, on the brand side, you're only looking at cost, right? Like, you're trying to figure out, how do I, what is it in relationship to the dead net cost or the cost of the product, right?
But it's still a margin spread is what you're looking
Correct.
for.
Yeah, yeah.
So even as a vendor, if I pay $1, if my cost of goods is $1,
Yeah.
what do I sell it to a retailer for prior to retail?
Yeah.
To a retailer, I work on margin.
Yeah.
I pay $1. I want 33% margin. That means the retailer's going to pay $1.50 from me. If the retailer wants 50% margin, then it's going to be a $2.99 retail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never talk markups.
Yeah. There
right?
you have it. Abolished. No markups.
Yeah, for me it is. I mean,
Yeah.
and again, maybe it's too much of a stickling thing, but it's how if you are going to, everything you talk about in percentages in finance is margins.
Yeah.
You don't talk markups.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Right? So you may as well get into the terminology and understand. So it's retail, less cost of goods, that difference over the retail. That's your margin percentage. Right? So I'm not a fan of markups. And I hear it every day. I'll go into a retailer. I said, well, what margins do you run on? 30. I said, on ad, 30. That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Well, 30, markup. I'm thinking, okay, so not 30.
No, not 30.
Right? So you're not making 30 on. 30. Okay, so
Yeah, no,
but I can
30,
do that. So okay,
30.
so 30 markup. Okay, I'm okay with 30 markup. I understand.
Yeah.
So you're down to whatever, 22, 23% margin.
23. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But when they're looking at you and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, you're making a pretty good margin for a
30 on feature. That's pretty sweet. Like that's a pretty slick buyer move. If that's margin, right? Like if that's margin, that's pretty amazing, right? Like
I assume most independent retailers run at 30, 35 margin.
Yeah.
I walked into a guy 3 weeks ago on one of my store tour days, and I said, "How do you do it?" "Well, we do a 30% markup." Thinking, holy shit, man, you're
Yeah.
that's a little on the lean side, no?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty skinny.
Right? I mean,
pretty skinny.
that's again, that's 22, 23, 24, whatever the hell the numbers, I can't think of it, but thinking, Jesus Christ, that's that's not a lot of room, because when you go backwards now and you want a discount, where do you go?
Yeah. Don't know. No, you can't.
Right?
You can't. Yeah. Then the conversation gets ugly from there, right? So.
Well, if you take 25% off, you're actually at a negative margin then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I always tell people, like, even on your ads, think
Yeah.
of the margin you want to make.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to make, 20% margin, then take the cost of goods, divide by 0.8, and that'll tell you what your retail should be for a 20 margin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This stuff's all online. People should go look at it. What I hope it does is, if we confuse the hell out of you, good.
Yeah.
Go online and take a quick look and learn to use margin.
Yeah.
Don't talk markups. They're not really relevant to anything. I know it's used. I just don't understand why. Maybe we'll have someone chime in and say, no, this is why you have to use markups. That's fine. I don't.
Yeah.
My whole world works on margins. Everything.
Maybe there might be an industry that it's supposed to work in, but I think we'll let listeners chime in. I think the big thing here is, like, definitely, if you're having any of those pricing problems or money problems with your retailer, if you're a brand, check your terminology, right? Check the way you understand it. Because
Send it to us. If anything, it might be worth having you on. Like we kind of went through with Kent.
Yeah.
And Ken throws us a lot of these ideas where he sits there and says, you guys, you went too fast through that.
Yeah.
I get it now, but you guys don't explain things. And a lot of it's because you know what it is. It's unfortunate, but it's second nature to us. And, it's not that I don't mind going to slowing down and going through, but I just, I just, it's like when you talk to me about all this high tech shit, you think I don't know what you're talking about. I give you the stupid look on the we're on Skype, you can see each other, give you that look of the dummy.
Kenny's giving me the, when I get too excited about the digital stuff, Kenny gets all googly eyed and then.
Man, look, what do you, in English.
I know, English. I'm sorry, I get excited. So I have to tell you
I
this.
just not scared to stop you. That's the difference. See, where a lot of people, they won't, they'll go home and they're baffled, and you're thinking, ask the questions. It's not a big deal. I used to help as a buyer. I used to walk people through on the desk. I think I told you one of the episodes. I was able to get cost of goods out of almost 95% of the small vendors in front of me, and I'm helping them set the cost they should tell to me and the retail.
Okay, so I'm going to say this so the audience knows this, right? For the small brands, don't do this with other buyers. Like Kenny's kind of an exceptional.
Be careful.
You're really like Kenny's, like I'll tell you, like I called on Kenny. Kenny's kind of a unique guy in that space and has been for a long time. So don't take this as a cue that you can go to a buyer, drop your drawers, and show them all the secret sauce. Like don't do that.
No, be careful
the
ones you do that with, because a lot of see, at the end of the day, because we were local. Yeah. I mean, and we were a big, London's not a small company. London's a big company.
Yeah.
But you know what? We had ownership that was fantastic, and ownership that wanted us to make sure we treated our vendors respectfully, and that most of the small independent vendors who came into this company were from the area. So they probably shopped our stores. Yeah. They would know people, So what vested interest do I have in screwing you and bankrupting you?
But all those things aside, you were a great buyer in that sense. Like you were kind of that guy that
I was
everyone
just that
loved.
Buyer. Great buyer. I don't like the words great. I did what I did for the reasons I had. I liked doing it that way.
Kenny's all humble now. I don't know why he's being all
humble.
So anyway, for the listeners out there, Kenny was a great buyer. Like everyone loves him for those reasons, right? Just close your ears for a second, all right?
Next topic. Jesus.
Just message me and I'll tell you why. He's all embarrassed now, and
Anyway, the point was, if people need help, that we would be happy to walk you through the process.
Yes.
I might bug you Friday during the day. Depends what your day is like.
Yeah.
My day's not too bad.
And then, do you have a Google? Like a Google Ads?
I've got Google for me.
Okay.
I got AdWords for me, so I can always I mean, I'm sure I can buy them for the site, but I mean,
No, I
otherwise,
don't think you need it. I think you just need a Google ID that you can buy the ads from, and then I can place ads for you if you want.
Well, I mean, I'd even like you to show me or walk me through. Because at the end of the day, I don't mind you helping me for sure. You're gonna help me no matter what. But I wouldn't learning a few things.
Yeah, so if you're
one of these days you might ditch me for someone smarter. So if I have to start this up again, I gotta look like, hey, I know a little bit here too.
You're hilarious. I'm not ditching you, Kenny. You're part of the secret sauce. Like this is us, right?
Yeah.
So no, but if you're tuning in, Kenny and I, as we do so often, is we literally jumped into it because we've been talking. I feel like we talk all week, all the time anyway. But we've been talking. We kind of been pinging each other about like. Okay, and Kenny's 420 Grasshopper is going fine, but his website isn't getting any traffic, and so we've been kind of trying to figure out how to get things going. So I'm, we're thinking about Google AdWords, and it's really common that Google AdWords, everyone thinks like it's search stuff, but it's not. Like you can place ads, you can do all that kind of stuff, and so we're thinking about putting up a couple of banner ads, hopefully having it appear in the right places. The other thing that's kind of cool is do you use a Facebook pixel?
What do you mean? I don't know what that is.
So Facebook has a little tracker that you can put on your website. So when people hit your site, it tracks demographics. It tracks other places that they go after they hit your site.
So I load the pixel where? What am I loading this thing?
Yeah, we would put it on your site. It's kind of like Google Analytics on your site.
Which I've done.
Yeah. So Google Analytics is one, and then Facebook Pixel you get one, and you can. It's good for helping you like measure your Facebook ads and track conversion and stuff like that. But it also means that you can remarket your website, guys. So when people so if we drive ads to 420 Grasshopper and we put the Facebook pixel on it, it'll help you kind of split those hairs so that it makes your Facebook targeting better as well. Do you know what I mean?
Which would obviously be nice as well. So I'll take a look at that. When we sign off, I'll go on and take a look because I managed to do the analytics by myself. I have no idea how I did it, but I did it.
Nice. Yeah,
I
love it.
I'm sure. Whatever. I can figure a few things out.
But it's not that different, right? It's just the buttons are different, right? Like when it was old school and like we did newspaper and we did flyer ads. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking about circulation, you're thinking about what households it gets to, like all that shit, right? So now it's just different shit, but different buttons, but same shit, right? Like, you know what I mean?
I guess so. It's like everything. I mean, it's all easy when someone walks you through it. Like if you want to walk through ads, I can show you how to do ads. I mean, all that stuff was. Yeah. But sometimes when you get into this, you know what it is too, because I told you, I don't necessarily want to learn it.
Yeah. I get
it's
you.
Like if I give the kids the phone, I say show me how to use this.
Yeah.
When they start chitter chatting, blah, 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 I don't give a shit. I ask you to show me how to use it. I don't want to know how it works. I don't care how it works. Just show me to use it.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's really true.
But you got to understand it. Yeah. I don't want to understand it. I just want to use it.
I just need the mechanics of it. Yeah.
Just give me the high level.
Yeah.
Then once I get that, then I'll start digging.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like just look, I'm going to give you the stupid look and say, listen, okay, when you're finished talking, you're going to do it for me because I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'll do it for you. So I've been thinking about that all week. So partly, one, because I've been thinking about. So the other part of this, so last week we talked about MailChimp, or I guess the episode that's out right now is MailChimp, and so I was just trying to log the number of sites that we should be hitting with some sort of email campaign to say, hey, 420 is launched on the marketplace. We saw that you have an article out there, like you have an article on munchies, or you're interested in munchies. This is a great new snack that's really great for people who are,
have the munchies.
Have the munchies, right? And so I think we could do that through MailChimp and be able to hit these guys to be able to. I think so. If there's somebody who's a email expert who thinks I'm breaking the law, you should probably tell me. But I think we could do that and like put out a simple campaign where you kind of go, hey, we've launched this new thing. Head here to go buy some, or head here. If you want to talk about it in an article, we'd love to hear it.
Sounds spammy.
Yeah.
It sounded like you're getting pretty close to.
Yeah. So we'll have to find a way to hook it.
I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Yeah. But, I think it's just in the matter of how we write the content in that mail. So, but we could do that as well, and then that would get you. Do you know what I mean? Like that would save you from writing 18 emails or something like that. Going, hey, 420.
And again,
would love.
It's okay with even on that though. I mean, I've even been thinking is writing one decent little 2-3 sentence kind of thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, cut and pasting it through Instagram.
Yeah.
So if they take a cool picture, go into the comments, and again, if it's got 18,000 likes and 75 comments, you're probably not going to get it read or seen.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's a little smaller but still has decent following, that's maybe a way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Where someone who's not getting comments all the time.
Yeah.
Getting 5 or 10 per post, they're reading it for sure.
Yeah. Like,
if you're getting 60, 70, 80, 100 comments, nobody's doing it.
Through Instagram, though, are you thinking about using Instagram to reach like editors of blogs? Is that
it could be because a lot of them are out there, right?
Yeah. I thought classic email. Like I think it's straight up like, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Count with classic emails, it's the privacy shit. You get into the spam shit.
Not if you send a single one. So if you send it from you to that person, it's not spammy.
Oh, okay. I see.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
and
you
I
can
don't care
do that.
If I have to do 100 of them. What's the difference?
Yeah. So if you do that, I mean, and you throw them in your Gmail and like copy paste and then change the names on it, you could do that and like, I don't think you do 100. I think you do like, 10, 12-ish, right? Because I don't think there's that many of them. But if we did that, even one of them that would go, hey, I'm updating my list. You've got yourself a hit now, right? Like you've got yourself something to share and reshare, right? So I think those are the two things that we can do. We can put up a banner ad for you that'll hopefully show up. Actually, 3 things, right? So we'll put up a banner ad for you that'll show up when people are looking for 420 or marijuana or munchies.
Yeah.
Any of those sort of keywords. And then the second thing would be to put the Facebook pixel in play on your website, so when the traffic comes, you can use it to retarget your Facebook ads, right? So hopefully that optimizes them and gets them better. And then the last one is we'll create this list of like emailing editors and going, hey, listen, like you wrote something, would you want to write about us or something like that? Yeah. I think those 3 would get you going,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the boys on Friday morning, so I'll have to figure out how to cut you in on this too. Like, what do we do for you?
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't
say that. Don't say that. Once you start with me, no. This isn't 10 minutes. This is a lifelong. Trust me. If anybody's listening and knows me, they're going to tell you the same. No. Be careful. Be careful. You don't know the ditch you got yourself into. This is a lifelong problem for you right now. Okay. So we'll figure out how to do something so that I don't feel too guilty. I'm not going to really feel guilty. I don't really care enough.
I don't feel guilty because I haven't done any selling for you, so I'm eating all your snacks right now.
I don't care. You know.
So I'm eating all the I love it, actually, because when I go to, like, all my classes I teach are at weird times, so I'm eating 420 grasshopper as I go. So it's
eat them in class so that people can see you.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm doing. I had it up and I had it in my classroom. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what I was saying. I had you on the brain because I was trying to figure out, because there's kind of like a million ways to go at this, but I was trying to figure out what the fastest way is, and then try and figure out how to like.
To me, I think that's the way to do it. Like, I think it needs to be tied into a search, not an ad word. They type munchie and it comes up. I want to get it much more granular. I don't. And again, on those ones, you don't mind paying a little bit more because your conversion potential is obviously greater than just typing 420. Yeah. So every time they type 420, we're up. I'm paying for 50,000 clicks. I'm not useless. Yeah. Absolutely useless. Going to go nowhere with it.
Yeah, agree.
Right?
Agree.
Nowhere with it.
Yeah.
So.
But I guess, for the listeners, the ones we're talking about is like, if you go to a site and then the little squares that pop up on the side, like to the right or the left, with the little Google Play button in it. Those are the ads that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like those are the banner ads that we're talking about. So if those pop up, like I'm actually on a site called Ranker, and this list is for stoner snacks and drugs, and it's like perfect. But like, so ideally it should be you that pops up here.
Exactly.
Because the first three are like pizza rolls, tacos, Dairy Queen, Blizzard, right?
Yeah, which all makes sense.
So yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm surprised Doritos isn't there.
Doritos is down. So donuts, half-baked ice cream, macaroni and cheese,
Yeah.
cookie dough. You know, so but then
That's the other
like
thing. We're
what's
gonna get cheese next.
Yeah.
I need a cheese flavor.
so
No, we
so
talked about yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
and then so but the sad thing here is that the ads I'm getting are Microsoft Surface ads, which are
It's just ridiculous.
yeah, like so weird, right? Like why would I care at this moment?
Well, exactly. Like,
Yeah,
what does that
so
have to do with what you just looked at?
literally nothing, right?
Nothing.
So I think that's the thing is like,
Unless
how do
they're
we get
stoned
you
on
up in
a
these
surface.
places, right? Yeah. So,
Right?
yeah. So anyway, I think it's like, how do we get you up on those sites because that
Yeah.
makes it super
That makes
relevant
sense.
for you, right? So.
Well, and it gives me a chance. Someone might say,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, you're not going to hit them all, but
Yeah.
what the hell, right?"
Yeah. All right. That's the end of this Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe, like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.